In February, we brought you the story of unclaimed cremains at a mental hospital in Oregon that were traced back to a local Somerset County family. When Becky Perigo found out about her long-lost great-great-uncle, Thomas Epsy Garretson, she traveled out west to learn more about his past. 6 News documented her journey and the steps she took to bring him home. It's a journey that has now come full circle.
We've had some relatives, other relatives we found, cousins in other states and things that have seen this on the news and contacted us, but really no news from Oregon.
Until now, without warning, the mailman hand-delivered this box, shipped all the way from Oregon to her home in Boswell, Somerset County.
It's exciting. It's nice that he's back. It's really nice to have him home, and I do hope that he would appreciate that we did this.
More than a century has passed since Thomas Epsy Garretson left home. An orphan at the age of 4 in Bedford County, Thomas earned his diploma from a military orphan school 12 years later and then settled down in Johnstown. That was in the early 1900s, and that was about all future generations ever really knew about him.
His story is so tragic from the beginning, just the fact that he was so young when he lost his parents. He grew up an orphan, but there were 7 brothers, and they were very close. So.
Turns out it was this woman, Phyllis Zagers of Roseburg, Oregon, who made the family connection.
I've researched about 1,000. I've contacted about 400, and about 100 have responded positively and are really excited about getting their relatives' cremains.
Zagers, a retired teacher, is referring to the more than 3,500 unclaimed cremains discovered in a building on Oregon State Hospital property in 2004. The ashes stored in simple copper canisters, each carefully recorded by name and numerical stamp. Most of them former psychiatric patients who died while institutionalized between 1914 and the early 70s.
I couldn't believe that we were a part of this.
The discovery of the thousands of unclaimed cremains, along with unthinkable living conditions at the state hospital, led to monumental change in Oregon. New legislation and billions of dollars spent revolutionizing mental health care. Families reunited, and a memorial built which now serves as a final resting place for those who remain left behind.
I really wanted to see it while he was a part of it.
Phyllis Zagers helped fill in the timeline of Thomas's early life and travels west. A 1909 Johnstown directory listed Thomas as a tinner. Cambria County documents reveal he got married in 1913. A draft registration in 1918 indicates he worked as a fire builder for the Goodrich Rubber Company in Akron, Ohio. Then 1930 and 40 census records list him as divorced and a patient in Oregon's mental institution. He died there in October 1941.
Do you see her and her husband right there?
We were there when Becky traveled to Oregon to meet Phyllis Zager.
Welcome.
And visit the memorial and neighboring psychiatric hospital where her great-great-uncle spent the last 16 years, 4 months, and 25 days of his life.
There he is. 2696. That's so neat. That's so neat that he's a part of it. 2696. I just can't believe he came all this way and ended up here.
The director of medical records agreed to release Thomas's patient file. Becky finally learning why Thomas was institutionalized, his diagnosis, psychosis. Notes describe him as delusional, threatening, and suffering from hallucinations. His file also contained a photograph and copies of letters and documents like these telegrams. Notification of Thomas's death sent to and from his brother, John Garretson of Hollidaysburg.
Kind of the golden rule, do unto others. So I would want someone to get me out of there. and he deserves to come back home.
And about 100 days later, Thomas's cremains arrived in Pennsylvania.
I really want to see his copper urn and see if it's just the plain copper or if it's got the patina like some of the ones that were more famous and were photographed. It's plain, so he was out of the water. Yeah, it's actually in really good condition. Wow.
Also enclosed, Thomas's ashes, the urn pulled from the memorial's wall, even the metal medallion stamped with his name and canister number. Precious artifacts that will be treasured and handed down through the generations, along with Thomas's life story, his struggle, his dreams, his purpose. Lost, but not forgotten.
I guess it's not really the end because, you know, I got to meet Phyllis, and so, you know, we formed a friendship over that. And I don't know, we're talking when we do a service for him, kind of making it a family reunion. So there'll be family home that we haven't seen in years. We wanted to make it just something nice, something he'd appreciate.
Now, Becky's family just received permission from the Cemetery Association to bury Thomas Epsy Garretson's urn and ashes next to his mother at the Bedford Forge United Methodist Church Cemetery near Hopewell. Right now, they're in the process of setting a date, ordering a headstone, and inscribed on it will likely be lyrics from the hymn Amazing Grace. I once was lost, but now am found.